Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Robinson, and we are going to continue our studies. This time we are working on the review of the Grade 7 Fall Common Assessment. If you need help with homework, there's Dial a Teacher Homework Helpline at 212-777-3380. That's from Monday to Thursday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. They will help you with any subject that you have homework in. Don't forget to watch our show Math Time on Tuesdays from 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Optimum Cablevision on Channel 15. We have our YouTube channel, so check out our videos. My channel name is Dan Robinson. Take a look at our latest release, PKMS Math Prep 17. Or you can tweet me at drobmath1. Okay, let's get going. Here's our first question. Brianna practices her flute Monday through Friday for 1 3/4 hours. How many hours does she practice during a 14 period leading up to her concert? Okay, all right, Brianna, let's do a little text coding. So we have her practicing from Monday to Friday for an hour and hour and 3/4 hours. So almost 2 hours. So I noticed she didn't practice on weekends. Okay, so Monday through Friday. It's a terrible looking arrow. How many hours are we looking for that she practice during a 14-week period? And that's leading to her concert. So she's going to be doing it for 14 weeks. So I noticed so far she's practicing from Monday to Friday for an hour and 3/4 hour. That's almost 2 hours. So this is what she's doing in Monday through Friday, which is 1 week. In 14 weeks is what they're interested in. They want to know how many hours is that. If you take a look at that, notice I have a proportion here where I have 1 week, and I'll put my weeks over here, and I'm comparing that to hours over here, is equal to 1 3/4 hours. And now I'm looking for 14 weeks. I want to know how many hours is that. Well, if you remember how we solve these proportions, we cross multiply. So 1 times question mark will be equal to 14 times 1 3/4. So let's write that over here. 1 times question mark will equal to 14 times 1 3/4. So this will give us our answer if we can multiply. So 1 times question mark will be question mark. Let me get my calculator out because we're allowed to use our calculator on this test. So let's clear this out. So 14 times, parenthesis, and now I got 1 3/4. So you can use your ABC button. My calculator is a little bit different. So I use this mixed number. So 1, and let's move over to 3, and go down to the denominator, 4, and go over. There's my fraction, and all I got to do is multiply, put my parenthesis there, and that gives me 49/2. Well, how many hours is that? Let me just divide this, and let me just take a second. There's the F arrow D button, because if you have a fraction, if your calculator gives you a fraction, you can press second, F arrow D. That'll take your fraction, change it to a decimal, press enter, and there's your answer. 24.5 or 24.5 hours. And that's how long Brianna will practice. Now, some people don't like using a fraction like I did. You might want to use a decimal. If you take a look at my other video, how to change fractions to decimal, it'll help you out. So let me just get my calculator real quick. Let me clear that. So our fraction was 49 over 2. If you remember, type the numerator. The fraction bar is another way of saying divide. And press 2. And that'll give you 24.5 as well. So that'll give you a nice answer. So we also could have taken the 3/4. 3 divided by 4. And make that 0.75. And so this would be 1.75 hours. And if we multiply that by 14, you'll still get 24.5. And there it is. So any which way you like it, if you remember how we changed those fractions to decimals, if you don't like using them, it's up to you, but it's just another way of dealing with it. So Brianna did a nice job. I multiplied 1 3/4 hours times 14 weeks, and that gave me 24.5 hours. Nice job, Brianna. Which expression is the same has the same value as 59.2 minus 84.7? Well, I remember the rules for dealing with subtraction. It's adding the additive inverse of the second number. Additive inverse means the opposite. So we're adding, that's the first thing, the additive inverse of this second number. So the additive inverse of positive would be negative. And here we have negative 84.7, and we're adding 59, I forgot the 0.2, 59.2 to it. So now it's just a matter of seeing which choice is that 59.2, and there it is in choice D, plus negative 84.7. So notice I didn't have to do all this subtracting or adding to get my answer, so I just remembered my rules. So it's good to remember your rules. So check your answers. If you understand what's going on, great. If you're not certain, rewatch the video, write down your questions, bring them in the class. I'll be glad to help you out. Here's another question. Mr. Jamal drove 105 miles in 2.5 hours. What is Mr. Jamal's speed in miles per hour? Okay, Mr. Jamal, we are interested in your speed in miles per hour. So here he's driving 105 miles in 2.5 hours. So 105 miles in or per 2.5 hours. If you remember a rate, it's called mph, miles per hour. That's the speed limit sign that you normally see. And we're interested in Mr. Jamal's speed in miles per hour, mph. So all we have to do is get our calculator to divide these two numbers. And let's get my calculator up again. Clear that out. And then I'll be set. Now again, if you don't like using this 1/2, half is another way of saying 0.5. You could use that, or you can type in your fraction. I'm just going to use 0.5. So 105 divided by 2.5. Where am I getting 2.5? Instead of using a half, I'm using 0.5. And that gives me 42. So Mr. Jamal is going 42 miles per hour. And if you did not like using the decimal, you can do the same thing with a fraction. Let me get my fraction here. 105 divided by, and let me get my fraction here. Okay, it's a mixed number, so you can use your ABC button again. So 2, let's move over, and 1, go to the denominator, half, and go over. So let's divide that. You still should get 42, and yes, we do. So whether you use the decimal or that fraction mixed number, you still should get 42 miles per hour. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Check your understanding. If everything's going okay for you, great. If you're not sure, rewatch the video and write down your notes, and we'll be glad to answer it in the morning. Or you can dial a teacher help hotline at 212-777-3380 from Monday to Thursday at 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And remember, they'll help you in any subject you have homework in. Watch your Math Time show on Tuesdays at 4:30 to 5 p.m. on Optimum Cablevision at channel 15. Remember, we have our YouTube videos. Check us out. Dan Robinson is my name. And Math Prep, PKMS Math Prep 17, our new latest release. Tweet us at drobmath1. Good luck on your test. I know you're going to do well. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got something out of it. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.